Hey guys, welcome back to Releasethecraftin. Priscilla here with a really quick little lesson on color theory. Some of you guys have asked me to do this video, and I've been putting it off forever, but now it's become relevant, so we're doing it here together. For some of you guys, this is going to be like a little redundant, or maybe you've done this before, you're very familiar with it. If that's the case, thumbs up my video, and then just wait for the next one when this becomes relevant. It's totally cool. If this is something that you are familiar with, but maybe you need a little refresher, then hang out, because I think I'm going to run some stuff at you. Maybe you're not familiar with all the terms. It's going to be kind of useful. So here we go. What we've done is we have basically just distressed in the primary colors. So the primary colors are going to be red, yellow, and blue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make secondary colors by combining the primary colors with each other. So like, you know how to mix colors. We all learned this in school, but like, this is how you do color theory. This is how you get the color wheel. So in order to get a secondary color, you will mix two primaries together. So as we know, red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, and blue and red make purple. Those are the secondary colors. And then to upgrade that a little bit, to get the tertiary colors, that would be the third set of colors that you could get in your color wheel. You're going to mix your primary color, so your red, yellow, or blue, with a color that is next to it. It's typically a secondary color on the wheel. So you will mix red with orange, and you will get a tertiary color. And that's how you get the colors in between the colors that are already made, between your primary and your secondary. So in order to get red orange, you have to mix red and orange, and then, you know, again, to get yellow green, you mix yellow and green, and so on and so forth as you go away around the color wheel. So like I said, some of this information is a little bit probably redundant because we learned how to mix our colors in grade school, but this is really important because knowing these things and these terms will help you mix any color you want, right? So that's why we're going over this together. So to start out with basic terms that we need for this kind of stuff, you need the term hue. And hue is basically the word that we use to describe color. So any color is a hue. And that's H-U-E, not H-U-G-H, the person. And then we're going to talk about value. So value refers to how light or dark a hue is. So if your color is like a bright color, a darker color, that would be its value. And then saturation determines how much hue is in the color itself. So whether it has all the red or some of the red, that's how saturated the color of the color is, how much saturated the hue is. I'm really bad at explaining this, so I'm hoping it's coming across for you guys in a way that's easy to sort of understand. And then you have what's called tint, and tint is basically what you get when you add color or hue together with white. That's the tint of the color, is hue plus white equals tint. Same formula, but in the opposite direction is shade. So when you're talking about the shade of a color, that's where you get hue plus black. And then the tone of a color is where you get hue plus gray. So when you're talking about tones, you have mixed a color with gray, and that's how you get the tones. And then when you are looking at the color wheel, you can see that color comes in temperatures. So there is a warm color and there are cool colors, and they are on opposite sides of the color wheel. So your colors like reds, yellows, and oranges are going to be warm, and the colors that are green, blues, and purples are going to be cool. And you can see that here in the color wheel that we are making. And then you have something called complementary colors, and those are going to be colors that are across the wheel from each other. So directly across from each other, those are complementary colors. So that's going to be something like blue and orange, or yellow and purple, or red and green. Those are complementary colors. And what happens when you mix complementary colors together is you get sort of a mucky brown color. Some sort of grungy brown color. That's what you get. And that's just what happens when you mix them. Not to say that you shouldn't mix them, because there's definitely perks to doing that. They definitely are dynamic when you put them together, but when you mix them, you get brown. And then there is something called monochromatic, which means that you are only using one color, and it's a really common misconception that monochromatic only means black and white. That's not true, because monochromatic can be any singular color that you use different tints, tones, and shades of to make your whatever you're making. I didn't know how to finish that sentence, sorry. There is another thing called analogous colors, and that is when you use colors that are side by side on the color wheel. So I demonstrate that here by showing you what happens when you sort of blend together red, orange, and yellow, or yellow, green, and blue, or blue, purple, and red. Those colors are next to each other on the color wheel. That makes them analogous, and you get very nice, very complementary, not the same as complementary across the wheel, but complement with an I, colors. And then there's another one that I don't show you guys in this video, and I kind of wish I had, but it's called triadic, and it's basically a triangle of colors. So it's 3 different colors that are basically making a single triangle across the way, across the wheel, I guess. And it can be an equilateral triangle, so they can be like equal distance across the color wheel, or it can be like an acute triangle. It can be kind of a funky triangle. You get some really interesting combinations when you play with triadic colors, but it's a good way to pick up a color scheme if you're kind of, you know, sort of looking for fun things to do. Make a funky triangle, put it up against your color wheel, and spin it around until you get a color combo that you want to try. So I'm trying to show you guys here what it looks like when it's monochromatic. I'm realizing, now that I'm watching this back, that blue all looks like a singular tone or shade of blue, or a singular value of blue, but it works. It works, don't worry. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is just essentially neutrals, because when you add either white or black to a color, you're going to turn them either into a lighter color, like a pastel, or a darker color, more like a blackish or a brownish color. The more black that you add, you sort of get that, but you don't get a true brown by adding just black to a color. But you can also get neutrals when you desaturate your colors. So any color that you sort of turn the volume down on by adding white or black is how you get neutrals. So I wanted to show you guys a couple different examples. So you can use gray values for neutrals, pastels for neutrals, or the traditional browns for neutrals. But that's it, you guys. That's how we got our primary colors, our secondary colors, our tertiary colors, and that's how we got complementary, monochromatic, analogous, and how we played around a little bit with neutrals in this video. Hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit. I know this is really quick, but I wanted to do this video before I did another thing that's coming up soon, this month, and I wanted to make sure that everybody sort of was on the same page. So hopefully this helped. If you needed a refresher in this course, I could probably talk about color theory for a very long time, but I wanted to keep this succinct. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Definitely play around with your colors. Try making your own color wheel with whatever you have on hand. You can use paint or inks or fabric. Do something like that. Have something fun, and, you know, just enjoy. I will catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, happy crafting, guys. I appreciate your faces. Bye.